Hello, this is my first attempt at a time-lapse video. I thought it was a cool idea, so here we are. Although, originally, it's not my idea, of course. I ended up getting this idea from another YouTuber who's an animator named the Sea Rabbit, if you want to go check out his stuff. He doesn't make videos anymore, but his time-lapse videos are really cool. What he ends up doing is he takes these really cool, intricate drawings and he speeds it up so you can watch him draw it in real time, except it's not real time because he speeds it up. And he talks over it and, just does this voiceover the way I'm doing right now. And you can either sit and watch him draw for like 10 minutes while listening to what he has to say, or you can put it on in the background and just kind of let his voice just soothe you. So I figured, hey, why not do the same thing with photography? I'll have photo edits going on in the background, or I'd have my voice going on in the background. I'd have my photos being edited, and you can watch that sped up times 5, which makes it somehow only 12 minutes. So now I have to think of something to talk about for 12 minutes. So luckily, if I can't think of anything to talk about, I always have something to fall back on. Those things would be my Instagram posts. If you don't follow me already on Instagram, first of all, I would suggest doing that. Second of all, if you do follow me on Instagram, then you know that my captions are super long. The reason because when I make my captions, it's always my thoughts, just barfing out my thoughts. I have times throughout the day where I just do nothing but think. I just think and think and think because that's how my brain works. And a lot of times my brain goes on just a rant, just a straight tangent. So I decide, hey, what would be a great idea to write that down and see if anybody else can relate to whatever I'm thinking about, whether that's from life, an experience, or whatever's going on. Maybe I'm giving out advice to myself, and it's just one of those times where I need to practice what I preach. But I figured that using those, I could read those out to kill some time, get it off my chest. Just another way to vent, I suppose. Although, before I do that, I'm gonna talk about the photos I'm editing. So this time, I'm editing some New York photos. These photos I did not take recently. I took those back in November. I went to New York for my birthday because it was my golden birthday, and I figured, hey, that's one of those big monumental things. So I figured, why not go somewhere that's like the biggest place in America? And what's bigger than New York City? So I got a flight and flew all the way over there and stayed there for a good 4 days. And I only ended up staying in Manhattan, which is unfortunate because there's a lot more of New York than just Manhattan. And when I got back, my friends were like, dude, how was it? And I was like, it was kind of overhyped. And thinking back, I still love the photos. The photos that I got are really cool, but I did end up getting bored. I vlogged about it. I haven't finished the video yet because I'm like the king of procrastination. But I didn't really do much while I was there besides taking photos, which is not wrong. That's not a bad thing because that's what I was there for. The reason why I said it was overhyped is because there's not a lot to do while you're in Manhattan without spending a lot of money. Like, there was a wax museum, there's lots of places to eat, there's lots of places to eat, not a lot of places to see, really, aside from streets, lots of glowy signs, and Times Square. Now, Times Square is a lot smaller than I remember. I've been there one time. I've been to New York City, like Times Square, once before in my life when I was 15. When it was 2015, when I was 18. I just graduated. And my mother had taken me as like a celebration that I graduated. I don't remember it being that small. It's only like 2 blocks. It's not big. There's the one staircase, there's a couple of things around it, and lots of tall buildings with glowy signs. And the glowy signs are really cool, but it's not all that. I walked over and I saw Broadway, and I thought that Broadway Theater, being the biggest name ever made, it's got streets named after it all over the country, would have been bigger. I was a little underwhelmed when I saw Broadway Theater and Times Square. I ended up going, for the most part, for those 4 days, it was raining. And I only got to really enjoy one day of no rain, and that was the first day. And I didn't know that you needed a reservation to do basically anything awesome in New York City. Like going on all of the rooftops. I love rooftop views. You need a reservation to go up there, and it gets really booked really quick around when the sun sets, because those are the times when everybody wants to get those sunset shots from up top of New York. And because I only went there for one day that it wasn't raining, I kind of got screwed over, and I wasn't happy about it. I wanted to get the sunset at the top of the world, just big tall buildings, and I wanted to be there with the sunsets because it was the only day to do it, and I just couldn't. I got into the building and I was like, all right, we made it just in time. I got like 20 minutes to spare before the sun really sets and it starts glowing. And I ended up, I walked in and she was like, all right, yeah, so the next reservation is about 8:30. And mind you, it's like 4:30 because it's autumn and the sun's about to set. So I would miss it immediately if I tried doing that. And there was no chance that I was getting up there. And I tried 3 different buildings and all of them said basically the same thing, that there was no chance that I was getting up there while the sun was setting. I needed a reservation. And nobody told me this. I didn't do any research because I was so used to going to other places like Chicago where you don't need a reservation to get all the way up there. You just need to go there, give them your money, and head to the elevator. New York is built different, and I don't know how to feel about it. You just gotta know what to do. You gotta be able to do that. I don't always have the ability to do that because when I travel, I like to really just wing it. I love to just go there, meet new people, have some experiences, and just kind of go where the wind blows. If there's some places that I've seen that I want to find out and just be like, whoa, this is dope, then sure, I'll look up how to get there. But usually it's just me hanging out downtown wherever I go. And downtown always has a lot to offer. There's tall buildings, parking ramps, always a good place to get a good view. Rooftop bars are also very clutch. I just recently went to downtown Denver, and downtown Denver doesn't actually have any like overlooking views like New York or Chicago where you can get into a building and they just monetize having a tall building. Denver, you have to find some rooftop bars, really tall parking ramps, which is fine. I found a lot of really cool spots, and I think I got some pretty dope shots. I unfortunately haven't edited them yet because I've been in a funk lately. I want to be motivated. You know, when you want to have dopamine so badly, you know, that ADHD problem where you want to have dopamine so badly, but you just don't. So then you go to the things that give you a little bit of dopamine and not a lot of dopamine where you get a lot of things done and you're just like, man, I need some serotonin, I guess. It's a real problem. It's a real issue. I'm working on it. I finally had a day off where I was like, oh, dude, we got this. I can just sit down, grab some snacks, and get some work done. And it's been working. I've done everything that I wanted to do, which was this. And I spent an hour editing photos. I found the music for the background. I'm recording this currently. I think it's going well. And somehow I've yammered on so long that I didn't even have time to read anything. And I think I'm okay with that, because I'm actually really, really bad at reading out loud. I'm not gonna lie. I think yammering like this, unscripted, and just talking about the things that go on in my head is the best way to do this. So I think that's what I'm gonna do. Maybe once in a while I'll read something from my phone, from my notes, where I write out all of my thoughts. But I think for my first time, this is the best move to do it. I'm so bad at reading. I've always been bad at reading. It's because my mouth moves a lot faster than my thoughts. And my thoughts move pretty fast. So if I'm reading, I have to think about what I'm reading and then say it. And if I don't think about what I'm reading while I'm saying it, then I stutter immensely. I can't get any of the words out. And it all just sounds like gibberish. I said just like it doesn't work. It's not a good move. So I'm gonna have to practice on that if I want to do that in the future. And it's something I do want to do in the future. I gotta practice. I gotta do more of these, and if it does well, actually, you know what? I'm gonna do it regardless of if it does well, because I personally, it's one of those things that I've always wanted to do. This is on my list of things that I've always wanted to do. So I really like it. And if you guys like it, make sure to hit that like, subscribe, and I will definitely make some more of these in the future. Definitely go check out my Instagram page, because that's where I'll be posting all of these photos. And I will be sure to work on the vlog where these photos were taken. Otherwise, yeah, I think that's 12 minutes. Check out the photos at the very end. Otherwise, stay young, have fun, and y'all have a good one. Later, guys.